Good afternoon. This is Grandma Vickie, and today I'm going to be preparing ribs, oven baked ribs. Okay, and I'm going to get started. Hope everyone's doing well today. I'm going to be using seasoned salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and I love my roasted garlic and herb. Okay, and I'm gonna spread my rib with the extra virgin olive oil. I don't want to put much on this, so that's why I'm gonna spray it on here. Okay, I have my rib in the sink, and I'm going to prepare it to be cooked. I want you to see everything here. Okay. I have the rib, they call it the St. Louis style rib. And I'm going to clean it off. And I'm going to pull off the fat that I don't want. This has a lot of fat on it. Okay. This is a rib tip here. They call it rib tip. I like the St. Louis style rib that you buy in St. Louis because it does have the rib tips with them. And when you get just the plain ribs, you don't get the rib tips. To me, that's an added amount of meat. Okay, so I'm cleaning off this rib tip. And I'm going to put it over in this pan here, aluminum pan, disposable pan. And then another rib tip that came with this rib. So you get more meat for your money when you get the rib with the rib tip added to it. I think so. Okay. And here's another rib tip that came with it. It's a big rib. The rib doesn't look that big. What they did was they cut off part of the front of the rib. Okay. Watch this real good. This one didn't have much fat on it. It has a little fat here. Let me get this off. Yes, it did. Okay. Gonna put this. They have all my rib tips over here. And then I have the rib that the rib tips came off of. Here it is. I'm putting all this fat over to the side. I'm gonna put it over here. Now just pick it up. I don't want it to go down my drain, even though I have a garbage disposal. I just don't like putting those big lumps of fat down in my garbage disposal. Alrighty. Now, this is the rib that those rib tips came off of. And that last rib tip I had, I think they cut it off this part of the rib. Because I've never seen that much of a rib tip. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull off the membrane. It's a thick membrane that's at the back of the rib. And sometimes it's easy to pull off and sometimes it's not. So let's see what it's going to be for us today. Get a knife. Okay. And I'm going to put it there to get it started. See what I'm doing? Okay. I don't want to cut myself. Let me see. It's a little thick, this little thick membrane that's on the back of it. Because if you don't remove that, when you're chewing on your rib, you're going to be chewing for a long time because it's kind of rubbery when it's cooked, and it interferes with the meat, chewing of the meat. Okay, I thought I had it started. Okay, you see this? Okay, it's trying to come off. Here it is. You see that? I'm going to pull it. You have to grab it with something. You see how that's coming off there? Wow. That was pretty easy this time. Okay. So I have that off. Okay. And I have a little more here. Okay. There you go. So I took that membrane off. I'm gonna put it right here. Okay. Now I'm going to rinse it again really well. Wash it off. Some more membrane here. Let me get it off. There you go. Try to get off as much membrane as you can. So when you eat your meat, you don't have to worry about that rubbery type membrane being on the meat. Okay, now I'm going to pull off the excess fat off of the rib, like I did on the rib tips. And not a lot. This is not a real fatty rib. And I'm glad. Okay. And this rib is kind of long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the bottom part of it. Okay. And that's almost like a rib tip, which it is a rib tip, really. So anyway, I'm going to put this over there with the other rib tips because I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those. Okay. I'm going to put this over with the other rib tips. Okay, this is what we have left of our rib. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is so it won't be so wet, I'm going to pat it dry with a paper towel. I'm going to pat the rib dry. Paper towel. Okay. Pat it dry. Okay. And I'm going to put it on a cookie sheet that I have put parchment paper on as well. And I'm going to put it on the cookie sheet right here. And I'm putting it over to the side because I have so much rib tip that I'm going to have space for the rib tips to go. So I'm going to I've already washed off my rib tips and the end of the rib. I'm gonna let you see how I'm gonna do this. I hope you can see it all. Okay. I'm right. And I'm not going to cut this. Well, I'm gonna cut it on the end. I'm gonna cut this on the end because the rest of it are bones. Because remember, I cut this part off at the end of the rib. So it still has bones. How many bones we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4 bones. So this is the end of the rib that I cut off because the rib was kind of long. Okay. Gonna put that there. Then this is the other part. I'm gonna put it here. And that's all meat, no bones there. Then I'm going to, this is a rib tip. Doesn't have any bones in here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut. You know how you go to the restaurant and you get a rib tip sandwich? I'm gonna cut this into smaller pieces. Because when you go get the rib tips at the store, at the restaurant, they're cut in pieces like this size or smaller. Okay. And I'm gonna cut it some more. Has gristle rather than bone. Put that there. And I'm gonna put this one. This is a large one here. I'm gonna put that there. I'm gonna cut this one. How am I gonna cut it? Okay, cut this. I love going to the restaurants and getting rib tip sandwich. And I remember when I was a young girl, we would go to the restaurant, the local barbecue place, and we would get rib tip sandwiches. And this is in St. Louis. They would put the rib tip on the sandwich, put the sauce on there, and then put a pat of potato salad on it, and it would be so good. And put a piece of bread on top of that. I think I'm gonna do this one like this. Okay. These are gonna be kind of big rib tips. Well, not that large. Let's see. There's a bone right there. It's kind of hard for me to get through. And I'm doing it with a steak knife, but I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah. Okay. Steak knife did pretty good. Okay. Let me wash this off again. And then I'm gonna pat it dry. Okay. So you see why I had to put my rib over to the side, because I had these rib tips to put on here. Alrighty. Get rid of all of this. Okay, now I'm gonna put my seasoning on. Okay, I'm gonna first put my garlic powder on. Put my garlic powder on. And I like lots of garlic powder in my ribs. Okay. Ribs and rib tips. Now you can get the St. Louis style ribs, and it will have the rib tips with it, and so you'll have plenty of meat. You can have it. They give you plenty of rib tips, and your rib. They cut the part of the rib tip part off, so you can have rib tips and ribs. I love it. They call it the St. Louis style ribs. Now this part is part of the bottom part of the rib, so it still has the bones. So when you cut it with the bones. I had to cut that off, otherwise it would not have been enough room to put the whole rib there. Okay, and then I put the seasoned salt there. And then I'm gonna put, I love this. This is called roasted garlic and herb seasoning. I put this on a lot of my meat. Okay. And then I can't forget about my black pepper. My black pepper. And then I have my extra virgin olive oil. I didn't want much to go in here, so that's why I'm spraying it on. I don't like to. Sometimes now, when you don't do it this way, you can spray it on either before you put your seasoning on it, or you can rub your extra virgin olive oil on it before you put your seasoning on. And let's see what we have here. I have this on parchment paper, and I have my oven already preheated at 400 degrees. And then I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like before it actually gets done. But I'm going to cook it for about, I'll say 45 minutes. And in 45 minutes, I will come back and show you what it looks like, because I'm going to turn it over and let it cook on the other side. And then I'm going to turn it back over, and I'm going to baste it with barbecue sauce and put it back in. So I'm getting ready to put it in my 400 degree. I'm doing it on convection oven, but you can either do it on a conventional oven or a convection oven. For 45 minutes, and I'll be back after 45 minutes when I check on it. Okay, I've taken my ribs out, and I'm gonna put my favorite barbecue sauce on it, spread it on it. Not much on this side. I spread it on both sides of the rib tips and the ribs. And my favorite is Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. You can use any, whatever kind of brand, whatever brand you like. But I like Sweet Baby Ray's. And I'm gonna spread that barbecue sauce on the, I call it the other side, underside of the, of my meat. Then I'm gonna turn it over and do it on the top part of the meat. Okay. I'm going to turn it over now. And do the other side. These are rib tips. I love rib tips. And I like I said, I like St. Louis style ribs because they have, many times it comes with the rib tips attached in the package. So you get a lot of meat. And those of you who like rib tips, That's good for us. Okay. I'm gonna put this on here, put it in the oven, and let it sear on here. Let it adhere, I call it, to the meat. Then I'm gonna take it out. I like to do this because when you pick up, you like barbecue sauce on your meat, when you pick it up, the barbecue sauce is already on there. A lot of times, you don't have to put any extra on it. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna put it back in the oven. Have to keep my mitts handy because I'll try to pick it up without using the mitts and burn myself. Okay. I'm gonna put this on broil. I'm gonna put it on broil. For about 10 minutes. And then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back with the finished product. My ribs, oven baked ribs and rib tips. Okay, I'm gonna see you soon with another recipe, but I want you to take a good look at this oven baked ribs. They're delicious. They're really hot, so I'm not gonna taste one. But anyway, I guarantee you that it's gonna be delicious. Okay, I'll see you next time with the Grandma Vickie. We'll see you the next time with a very quick and easy recipe. Bye-bye.